of one Ugandan scientist working with the Uganda Virus Research Institute in Entebbe has been etched in the record books of the science world. Professor Mukwaya has now got a subgroup of mosquitoes named after him, a special recognition quite rare in any field of science, especially for African scientists. And he becomes the second Ugandan scientist to climb the ladder of recognition after Giovanni Senkubuge, who worked in a similar field from 1932. Professor Mukwaya has extensive research works on the yellow fever and malaria-causing mosquitoes for over 40 years now.
For nearly 40 years, Professor Mukwaya has found purpose to come to work each day at the Uganda Virus Research Institute. This calm scientist, who has dedicated his life to studying mosquitoes, speaks quite fondly of two of the world's most dangerous vectors, the yellow fever and malaria-causing mosquitoes.
I met my director, Dr. Williams. He gave me a subject to study, and that was some mosquitoes, yellow fever vectors. In Bwamba, western Uganda, they bite man. And in Uganda, they didn't bite man at that time. So my research question was, why?
Professor Mukwaya is an expert in the branch of science that studies insects, also known as entomology. As a fresh graduate from Makerere University, Professor Mukwaya set foot on the grounds of the East African Virus Research Institute, now the Uganda Virus Research Institute, in 1965. He has never left since then. The professor has conducted extensive research on the breeding, feeding patterns and genetics of mosquitoes.
These findings with this mosquito, Aedes simpsoni, have helped us to understand the epidemiology of yellow fever in Africa.
And all this has not gone unrecognized, as he has now been honored by the International Center of Nomenclature, a global body of scientists in his field. A subgroup of mosquitoes called the Stogomya theobald has now been named after the renowned professor. This is a prestigious and rare achievement in the world of science, with only a handful of African scientists elevated to this position.
But a recognition like this one, it is a passport to the world. You are known all over the world. Don't you feel great? That's the feeling I have.
Professor Mukwaya is currently studying DDT-resistant mosquitoes. He is contented with his contribution to the world of science, and already his work is being used internationally to eradicate the yellow fever and malaria-causing mosquitoes. Leah Wanika, NTV Weekend Edition.
NTV Weekend Edition returns with more stories after the break. Stay with us.